The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the small business sector on Grand Bahama getting another opportunity to obtain special funding from the Caribbean Export Development Agency. Tonight, Sabrina Brown tells us that business owners learned more about the program during a one-day workshop at the Pelican Bay Resort today.
The Caribbean Export Development Agency's Direct Assistance Grant Scheme workshop was designed to inform small and medium-sized business owners of the opportunities available for grant funding and how to apply. Persons who have been in business at least 2 years and qualify for the business grant will have to make the investment, and CEDA will then issue a reimbursement of 70%. CEDA Representative Christopher McNear says since this initiative was launched back in 2011, they have received some 500 applications from throughout the Caribbean, but only one came from the Bahamas, which was approved. It is believed that many prospective applicants are deterred by the tedious process.
We recognize that the application process can be somewhat tedious, but we have seen where we have done these workshops before, and they have proved very, very successful.
Senior Grant Advisor with CEDA, Kirk Brown, says the organization is working to ensure that more Bahamians can benefit from the program.
We've done a lot of preparatory work before with here in Freeport, but I think timing is always something that we have to look carefully at. We've had discussions with the Development Bank. We even signed a MOU. So we've been trying to put things in place so that you yourself can find an opportunity if it is that you have cash flow problems in terms of financing the grant.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority co-sponsored the event. According to President Ian Roll, the grant writing workshop comes at an ideal time as the island is poised for an economic turnaround.
A major focus of our business development team at the Port Authority is to not only attract new business, but also assist business owners who are already making a contribution to the local economy. Today's workshop is evidence of our continued commitment to helping your business grow. Limited financial resources are often mitigating factors when businesses fail. This workshop is geared towards reversing this trend through educating Bahamian firms and business support organizations on available funding, as well as the correct procedures for the application process.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, the resurgence of Grand Bahama's airline industry evident as this island began welcoming new airlift from 2 additional cities out of Canada. The latest Sunwing aircraft arriving this past weekend, and as Joan Davis will report, some drama surrounded its arrival.
It was a second Sunwing flight to arrive on Grand Bahama in 2 days, and according to officials, it's booked solid. It was a sight many hope will become a regular occurrence. Watching Sunwing's 737 flight touch down at the Freeport International Airport shortly after 2 p.m. on Saturday. The occasion not only providing an exciting Kodak moment, but a significant boost to Grand Bahama's airline industry. Director General of Tourism David Johnson says Grand Bahama's tourism tide is beginning to turn.
We work very hard, the partnership of the Ministry of Tourism with Hutchison Whampoa, with the Sunwing Group, with the Grand Bahama Island Tourism Board, and really the entire community. This is a collective effort for us to do what we knew we could do, which is make Grand Bahama a first class and also a leading destination in the region. I think we're on our way to doing that, and we'll see rebound in Grand Bahama tourism this year.
However, the airline's arrival not occurring without a hitch. Bio officials were forced to spring into action as a fire alarm went off in the terminal, forcing passengers to wait on the tarmac longer than anticipated. When the all clear was given, passengers received the Grand Bahama welcome on the inside, but just on the outside of the terminal, another situation was looming. 4 charter buses began filling up with Sunwing passengers, and taxi drivers say they felt slighted that they were not getting a piece of the economic pie.
Unfortunately, the bus ain't going full. We're going with 6 or 7, 10 people, and that's not fair.
How many people the bus can?
Actually, the bus can hold 50 people.
They told me to get something out of the flight, and Grandmama been in such a downturn for so long. We're happy that the flight is coming. We know people are going to the hotel, but we are not benefited.
We should get something, not just sit here and watch everyone go on the bus. I think it's totally unfair.
Ironically, as this scenario unfolded, with no police official inside, a vehicle blocked the entrance of the airport, creating a bottleneck and bringing all activity to a halt. Immediately, tourism officials responded.
It was never, and it won't be, the right thing for the Ministry of Tourism to be a part of a program that dislocate such a large segment of the community in the transportation business. So our team, led by Betty Bethel and Terrence Robert here, they will be collaborating with the taxi union leaders and the taxis themselves to really see how they can benefit much more than they did today going forward as the numbers increase. It was never Sunwing's intention that 100% of the business go to any one source.
Moments later, the driver of the vehicle was located and the movement of the nearly 200 visitors eagerly awaiting a Grand Bahama vacation experience resumed. Joan Davis-Roll, Saturday Network News.
Well, tonight, the president of the Grand Bahama Taxi Union is taking issue with Saturday's incident and claims that it is another example of unfair treatment of taxi drivers. Megan Shepard has this report.
We are outraged. We felt we've been lied to. We're tired of just talking.
Tonight, President of the Grand Bahama Taxi Union, David Jones, is speaking out on what he says is another unfair issue happening in the tourism and transport sector on the island. He says he met with several agencies and it was promised that all tourists coming in out of Canada would be dispersed equally when it comes to transport.
The idea was that the fares would have been dispersed fairly. This is not happening. Mr. Forbes or no other tour company went out there and advertised their business and brought these people here. Like I said, the government used their resources. They subsidized some of these companies, so all the citizens should benefit. I'm definitely going to meet with the membership as soon as possible. I've sent emails. I can show you emails. We've asked the government to reply. We think the road traffic definitely need to step up doing their job. We've asked them for personal meetings to no avail. Ministry of Tourism seems like they just want to pass to actually phase taxi out for some reason. And I personally point them out, and I wish you would print that, because I'm personally pointing them out. The thing is a collective bargaining agent, all of us. Persons who are the head should be concerned about every citizen being able to eat or live comfortably in this country.
Jones says he also has an issue when it comes to parking in the Port Lucaya area.
The parking spot now for taxis were cut down to about 20 spaces for taxis. We have about 600, at least over 500 taxi drivers on the line. Basically, now we have about 95% of the plates are on the road at this time. There's approximately hardly any parking in Port Lucaya. None to the new hotel that they're doing. They've redone it to accommodate again buses again. We asked them to make the accommodations for taxis a little bit more pleasurable. Taxiing is a essential business in the tourism business, and again, the slots are getting smaller rather than bigger. So I'm trying to figure out if we thinking future-wise.
Jones says he is fed up with talking and meetings when no resolutions seem to come forth.
My next step is, honestly, we will not meet with none of them again. We'll meet with our membership, and they will actually hear from us. And again, it's not a threat. We just want to sensitize the public. Enough is enough. And we are tired of talking. We asked to be talked to. We asked for meeting. We asked for all of these positions, and again, to no avail. So I will meet with my executive tonight. Then I'll try and meet with the membership early as Wednesday, Thursday, and we will take it. We will go forward from there.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Now, the Director General of Tourism, David Johnson, says that the taxi union president have no grounding in truth. Johnson says Sunwing has a list of all the service providers, and they have told the ministry that they haven't selected one on record as yet, but they're more so concentrating on getting the resort open. However, Johnson says Sunwing did indicate that in the interim they intend to rotate services to get a sampling of what is being offered before contracting a long-term service. Now, as it relates to the Ministry of Tourism, the Director General states that the ministry maintains that it is always desirous of equitable distribution of business among all suppliers. Johnson says he plans to meet with the taxi union on Grand Bahama on Saturday to discuss how to assist in preparing the taxi union to participate more fully in the businesses that will come to Grand Bahama. And a 30-year-old man of Holmes Rock, Chino Deal, was charged in court in Nassau yesterday before Magistrate Andrew Forbes with 2 counts of possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply. He pled not guilty to the charges and was remanded to Her Majesty's Prison until May 1st. Deal's arraignment is in connection with that incident last week when DEU officers discovered a blue and white go-fast boat in the Holmes Rock area with over $2 million of suspected marijuana on board. Meantime, police are continuing investigations into this matter. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Tonight, the fate of the leading religious body on Grand Bahama will be determined. The Grand Bahama Christian Council is set to hold elections. Among the clergymen vying for the top position as president is community activist and pastor of an Assemblies of God church. Joan Davis-Roll has this story.
For the pastor of Living Waters Assemblies of God Church in Lucaya, Reverend Eddie Victor, the quest for leadership of the Grand Bahama Christian Council comes out of a burning desire to see major advancements on Grand Bahama, and more importantly, in the kingdom of God. He says that first and foremost, he's promoting a platform of unity heading into council elections.
I believe that with the Christian Council, that we could be united and do great work here in Grand Bahama. I believe it's ripe for us to come together. It is ripe for people to come into the kingdom of God and to receive the wisdom and the knowledge of God that will transform their life. But we need to do it in a united way. So with the Christian Council, one of the things that I believe that primarily has to take place is there has to be a focus on bringing leaders and churches together.
Pastor Victor, who has championed the cause on many fronts, states that the church must play a more vital role in affecting positive change. He says for far too long, real empowerment has evaded God's people, and now is the time for the voice of the church to be heard. Although this man of the cloth ran unsuccessfully for the council's top position in the past, if elected as president, he vows to become that agent of change that will help to better the lives of all.
As a pastor, my wife and I, we have been extremely busy out there doing work to help people in our community. When we look at the struggles that exist in Grand Bahama, unemployment, education, people are discouraged. We also see even the challenges that people are having with their living expenses, and especially when you look at the high cost of power, all of this is affecting people. We've seen from our own congregation where people have lost jobs, lost their homes, and when they do get a job again, they're not making the type of income that they were before. And so what we realize is that the message of the gospel is a holistic message.
Joan Davis-Roll, Saturday Network News.
In other news, a school for challenged youth on Grand Bahama needs your help tonight. The principal at Genesis Academy is appealing to the public for financial support as he seeks to revolutionize the school and change the mindsets of students who may be headed down the wrong path. Principal Ricardo Major is passionate about changing the lives of students at Genesis Academy, a school for behaviorally challenged students. So far, a new chess club has been implemented at the school where students learn to master the art of the game. But to take things one step further, his plan is to take the students to Her Majesty's Prison as a preventative measure and a reality check.
by the time we get these children, they're really so embedded in the habits that they have, and the habits are so varied that it's up to us to try to strategize, come up with programs and activities that is going to try to meet the needs. And in our strategizing of programs to meet each of these needs, we feel as though this one will help, and this one deals with the reality of life if we don't change the course that we're going on.
The boys are between the ages of 12 to 17, and there are any number of reasons why they are transferred from the mainstream school to Genesis Academy.
Some of these children are in environments and communities where it's easy access to drugs. There's not very much parental control, so they're allowed to do things. So it's from stealing to rude behavior to drug use, and so it's very. And then you have persons here that has a combination of these things.
As he plans the trip to the nation's capital, he says there is a financial challenge. Most students cannot afford to attend, and sponsorship has been minimal. Now they're appealing to the Grand Bahama community to support these young men in an experience that can change their lives.
We've had a fundraiser, a Thanksgiving fundraiser, where we pretty much went all out, and we've had some funds come in, but we are still falling short because one of the goals is, at present at the school, we have 12 boys, and there's no reason why or 12 of these boys we cannot be funded to go. And we are appealing to the public, persons that would hear this, if they can call us at the school and be able to sponsor one boy to go into New Providence, or come and see how they can assist in any other way.
He says a trip like this can bring about the harsh reality of consequences when making the wrong choice.
Within one of these young men, they can change a whole community. They can impact an entire community. And that's why it is imperative that we work as hard as we can on each one of these young men. And that's why when we travel, we're not going to leave any of them behind. Every one of them, we need to make sure that each of them get an opportunity to travel, to be able to experience, because we don't know which one it's going to change.
And finally, in news this evening, the Rand Memorial Hospital launching its baby swaddling program on Grand Bahama. It is an initiative designed to provide supplies for newborns. PTC signed on as a partner, donating quite a bit of baby care items. Marketing representative Letitia Lord says PTC felt compelled to offer assistance to the obstetrics ward.
This is just one of the many donations that we've made throughout the community, different charitable organizations. And of course, we partnered with the Rand Memorial Hospital with the AIDS clinic as well during Thanksgiving. So the Swaddle the Baby was just so exciting. They made it seem like such an important initiative, and of course we do know that there is a need, and BTC wanted to be a part of it, and we of course will extend our donation as often as we can.
Area Manager for Obstetrics, Stephanie Small, says the donation meets a critical need. She says while the government provides supplies, there is also always a need for additional assistance, and help from corporate Grand Bahama is always welcomed.
We need Pampers. Babies are changed sometimes 4 to 6 times a day. So those are things that are going to be repeatedly needed. The Pampers, we have the Desitin for some of those babies with sensitive skin that might have a little rash. We need the baby wipes. We need the petroleum jelly to keep their bottoms protected. We need the baby wash because we do bath them on a daily basis. So those are things that are going to be repeatedly needed.
Stay with us. Ricardo Lightborn joins us next for a check on sports.
Hey everybody, it's Sports Time. I'm Ricardo Lightborn, and little Kamari Kobe Lang is for today, and he's saying that the Kid in the Care Learning Center, all those guys over there had a party and they ain't bring Sheena no cake. You know I'm upset, right? Well, the S3 Soccer Clinic starts Wednesday. That's tomorrow, folks. And guess what? Development is the call sign. The S3 4th Annual Soccer Clinic is just days away, January 22nd through the 25th at the Bishop Michael Eldon School Field. The 4-day clinic is open to boys and girls 6 to 18 years of age with training sessions and panel discussions. Athletic ability and a strong academic foundation is encouraged as coaches will be looking for soccer talent for their programs.
People say, well, my child is only in grade 8. You know, what is it going to do for them? Well, we're looking at building. You know, when you're given the opportunity to enhance your skills, you really need to take advantage of those opportunities. The kids come out and they have a lot of fun. They learn new drills. They meet a lot of kids from other schools that they may not have met before. And there's a lot of camaraderie when you have somebody that is enjoying the same thing that you enjoy.
Coaches from Ball State University, University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, University of North Alabama, Johnson, and Wales will participate in the soccer clinic and impart some of their knowledge of the game.
We want the kids that are college bound to come in and make an impression on the coaches. We also want the younger ones, get a foot in the door, let them see what you're capable of, because these coaches look not just at what they need for today or tomorrow, but they look long term. They look 3-4 years down the road, and they'll say to us, you know, how old is that child? Oh, that child's only in grade 10. I'm going to keep my eye on them. And that's really encouraging. They're impressed when they see the level of talent, the level of commitment, the discipline that our kids have. They're really, really impressed, and they come back time and again and they say they're so mannerly and they're having such a good time.
Well, folks, Bahama and Chris Ferguson is the defensive lineman of Orlando Lake Nona High School, and he's headed to college to play football. The 6'6" 275-pound defensive tackle committed to attend University of Cincinnati. Ferguson is ranked number 40 in the Sentinel 2014 Central Florida Super 60, and he played on the Orange County Metro All-Star Game in December 2013. Ferguson actually picked the Bobcats over Illinois, Minnesota, South Alabama, Western Kentucky. Bethune-Cookman and his coach, Anthony Podeso, raved about Chris in September. Now he's going to be going off to college. University of Cincinnati is where he's going to be. This kid used to go to C.R. Walker in Nassau, play for the Knights basketball and the RJ Sands Pros football team. Now he's in Orlando, and the kid's going to be going to college. Way to go, guy. 6'6" tall. He's a big kid, got prospects down the road. That's a quick look at your sports tonight.